So a couple of days ago, the 35th anniversary of Mega Man was fully celebrated by fans all over Twitter, all over the internet, and all that kind of stuff, and just really expressing their love for the Blue Bomber, which is something that for those that have been on the channel for quite some time, you know how much I love the damn dude, okay? You know how much I absolutely love Mega Man. I love the franchise so much. I grew up with it. I grew up with Mega Man X particularly, and I did the entire Mega Man X review marathon, played all the games that are out there. I talked about Battle Network. I also kept on a consistent yearly basis trying to get the people riled up for Mega Man Legends 3 to possibly be a thing. A lot of you guys know that I have a strong passion with Capcom's mascot, but does Capcom really feel the same way nowadays? Is Mega Man, as some have said lately, is Mega Man officially dead? Is he now on the verge of just being completely extinct from all things gaming related, from the platforming genre? Or is there a possible comeback that Capcom is planning on making? Something similar to how Sega was like, hey, let's bring back 5 classic franchises as if it's like an infinity gauntlet, and they just did the Thanos snap back at the Game Awards. Now, the reason why I'm kind of throwing this question out there is mainly because as much as we remember the mascot, the person that basically put Capcom on the map alongside Street Fighter back in the 80s and 90s, there's still something that feels off with Capcom nowadays in regards to the love and support for the person, for the platformer that basically made them who they are on the console setting. Because again, arcade wise, Street Fighter has always been a thing. Street Fighter has always pushed the boundaries and also the limitations of what is a fighting game, and why Capcom excels in that, and the arcade nature of those games. There's no understanding that, as well as all the other franchises out there, from Resident Evil, from Ace Attorney, now that they're giving us the Apollo Justice collection, and all the other stuff that's out there. But again, in regards to Mega Man himself, I don't see that action in terms of hey, what are we gonna do with the Blue Bomber? What are we gonna do with him moving forward? Especially after the reception of Mega Man 11, and how after almost 30-ish years or so, no, not even, almost 8 years since the last time they made a platformer for the Mega Man franchise, they finally brought him back, but that was because of the Legacy collections. But then here we are with 3 more Legacy collections, and there hasn't been much of a move in terms of new Capcom stuff, not Capcom, new Mega Man stuff. And so what's the deal here? What is the problem with Mega Man nowadays? So I do want to answer first of all that Mega Man isn't really dead. That for, just to get that question out of the way, just to answer that right out the gate, Mega Man isn't necessarily dead, but he is on the verge of sort of not being as relevant as he should have been. And I think that's mostly on part of Capcom's end rather than our end, because like I said, if you look at the numbers for Mega Man 11 when that was brought back, if you look at the numbers of the Legacy collections and the receptions for that, and how much everybody, including this guy, me right here, how much we were just so hyped to get them, and to be able to play them, to be able to play old classics again and all that bunch. And of course, we're waiting for that Star Force Legacy collection and that Legends Legacy collection, all that kind of stuff. But I don't think Capcom is, or at least they don't want to utilize Mega Man as much as they should, because into their mind, it's not making them cash. But at the same time, they don't understand that Mega Man can give them cash. It can make them money. If you look again at the sales wise for Mega Man 11, it brought Mega Man back on the market. It was kind of like the Sonic Mania for Mega Man, so to speak, and it did a really good job in demonstrating that Mega Man can be back on the modern setting. It could absolutely be brought back nowadays. It's just that Capcom needs to put more of that effort than ever before. But of course, my thoughts generally are just a collective rambling, because I could pull up the numbers, I could pull up all that, but I'm not a statistics guy. I'm just someone that is very mindful of the possibilities of what could potentially happen. And with Mega Man, there's so much you can do with Mega Man, especially nowadays. You could continue with Mega Man 12. Mega Man 11 again was setting the foundations and the boundaries of how to make a modern Mega Man platformer, and and it shows. It goes right there. Mega Man 11, the footage you see on the screen, it absolutely shows it. And you can do that with all the other franchises out there. For example, Mega Man X9 could finally be a thing. You do not understand how many people, including me, want in Mega Man X9, especially since the last time we had a numbered entry to the X franchise was 2004 with Mega Man X8. Yeah, we can technically count Command Mission, the RPG, but in terms of like an actual proper X game, that was 2004, my guy. Like, what more can I say on that front? So a lot of that would be brought back. Mega Man X9, Battle Network, I think it's great that it's better off, I should say, that it should just stay contained in a collection, because I don't think there's anything they can go after Battle Network 6. I don't think a Battle Network 7. I know the localization of the Star Force and Battle Network collab that they did for the Nintendo DS, I think that would be the best move, you know, in terms of like, hey, let's keep promoting Battle Network, and also that would be like the perfect jump from, hey, here's Battle Network Legacy Collection, now we can give you Star Force Legacy Collection, now that we're able to like bundle this up and we can give you that localization. Something like what they did with Ace Attorney, where you had Ace Attorney Collection, then they had the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and then now they are moving with the Apollo Justice Trilogy. So something like that would greatly benefit Battle Network and Star Force in terms of like the modern setting. But, you know, a new Battle Network game, I'm not 100% sure on that front, but that's enough out of that. Star Force 4, I would love if they could bring that back, because there was an attempt, there was tons and tons of concept art where, you know, they were gonna do a Mega Man Star Force 4, but that never happened, or it ended up transforming into the package with Battle Network and Star Force, you know, doing that collab. So it would be super, super awesome if they could also bring that back. If they could also say, hey, let's do Star Force 4, but that's after they see the reception of a potential Star Force Legacy Collection, which we don't know when that's going to happen. But of course, aside from all that, we can't forget that they have the biggest thing that's inside their vault, and I know that they can do it 100%. I don't care what people have to say. Mega Man Legends 3. Mega Man Legends 3 would be the biggest thing for Mega Man and for Capcom, period. In fact, I'm willing to bet that's their biggest announcement for what they were trying to say, or trying to like give like a hint at back in like a couple of months, where they're like, hey, 2024, we have some sort of an announcement and things like that. So I think that could be their sort of Sega revival arc, where you can bring back something that a lot of people have been asking for years and years and years, and you can be like, yes, we're gonna pull the trigger on it. We're going to give you Mega Man Legends 3. I think that's the biggest move they should make. And again, to compare it with Sega, when how they basic revived not one, not two, but 5 whole franchises that has been a part of their roster from the 90s and completely forgotten about until now, thanks to the Game Awards. Capcom can absolutely do that. There's no excuse at this point, or at least that's what I think, in saying like, hey, let's give the guys the Mega Man Legends 3. They've been asking for this since, you know, 2001 with Mega Man Legends 2. Let's finally give it to the guys. Let's finally end this once and for all. Let's revive the project. That would be tremendously insane. And again, something that would really contribute a lot to the Capcom roster. But besides all of that, these are just my hopes and dreams. And again, this is all to answer the question of, is Mega Man dead? Which again, to reiterate that point, he's not dead. He is in a good hiatus or something like that, but a good way to kind of give you a detailed outlook of how Mega Man is as a franchise right now. I highly recommend you watch Legend of Kai's video of him explaining the current status of every single Capcom franchise, and he mentions a lot about like the current state with Mega Man and the Blue Bomber himself. So as my personal takes, before you jump into that video and completely ignore this and the algorithm will be like, hey, you don't exist anymore, my final takes on all this is that Mega Man, at least starting next year, should have a priority. I wish Capcom can, you know, take that into consideration. I hope that at the very least we get news on a possible, you know, Star Force Legacy Collection, a possible Mega Man Legends collection, along with, you know, Trombone and all that. It would mean a lot to everybody, and it would also greatly allow people to play those games and be like, hey, we have all the Mega Man games on every single platform now via collections. You now have access to this, and because of this, we're now going to be able to like give you all the games that you want, and we're going to give you the X9, we're going to give you the localization of Star Force and, you know, Battle Network, we're gonna give you Mega Man Legends 3. We could possibly give you a whole new Mega Man out there. ZX3 could also be a thing, by the way. That was also a canceled project. We can all give that to you now that we've kind of cleaned the plate. We set the foundation ready for Mega Man, and we can all, but that's all dependent on how Capcom plans to do with that IP, with that franchise moving forward, because it's all on their court. The ball is in their hands. The court is in their favor. I've made my defense. I'm waiting for the prosecution, and hopefully the judge gives us a good verdict of, hey, Mega Man is not dead. Give him what he wants. But besides all of that, let me know your comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Usually I would have my face on the camera, but occasionally, if I have a thought in my mind and I want to discuss it with you guys, I think I'm just gonna talk it out of my ass and just give it to you in this format. But you know, just let me know other thoughts, concerns, and all that. Peace out. Again, I have so much to work on. I'll see you all with that next one. Roll the outro. Peace out.